All right, welcome to the latest session of our Q&A for the building blocks of your strong brand course. Wanted to jump into the last module on photo and video. We've got a bunch of questions this week to answer. There's 6 of them here, so we're going to quickly go through these. Number 1, can't I just take photos with myself? 2, do I post them everywhere? 3, I'm willing to spend on video, but I don't have ideas. Help. 4, my photos look good on Facebook, but bad on Instagram. Why? 5, are my videos for YouTube? And 6, is this the same as making a TV commercial? All right. So we've got a couple for photo, couple for video, both extremely relevant. And I think just to preface this, I know I said it in the lecture portion as well of the course that I think photo and video are something that now is both one at a quality point that we can all have a better looking brand, particularly showcasing our products and services, because the quality is getting to be at such a point where you can actually afford it without having to buy a ton of gear and a ton of equipment. That there's a lot more freelancers out there. There's a lot of DIY people that are doing a really great job, and you'll be able to find a lot more talent out there for less of a cost. So it's less cost prohibitive to be really showcasing your brand. And two, the other thing that I also said in the course is most people underestimate how sexy their brand is or what you're doing as an industry. For any company that's out there, look at how many reality TV show what most people think are just their regular job. There's an audience out there that's interested in what you do. And for the most part, a lot of those people that are interested are actually your prospects too. So take the time to really showcase what you do. And it's amazing how much of a differentiator you can be when your prospects want to work with you because they feel like they have access to the behind the scenes, even if that's just watching you or filming you or taking photos of, what you do. It gives more access to people and they feel more comfortable working with you. So keep those 2 points in mind as we go through these. Number 1, can't I take photos myself? Of course you can. Having photos is way better than not having photos. But if you really want to have super polished photos, it's less about taking the photos and it's more about being able to have the skills for editing. And that's where, I think most people struggle. Jumping behind the camera, there's a lot of tips, a lot of tricks, a lot of tactics that will get better photos taken. And hiring a professional, even if it's a couple $100 to get somebody to do a photo shoot, be creative if your budget is really tight, but know that you are getting what you pay for. And those quality images throughout all of your marketing material and all of your sales material will make a big difference if you go pro. So, yes, of course, you can take them yourself. Just be aware that it's not going to be the same type of quality you would get if you are hiring a professional. Okay. Number 2, do I post them everywhere? Yeah, of course. The better photos you have, the more places you can put them. Of course, it helps. It's content. It's something that you want to have distributed to have in your distribution channel. But I would say 2 things. One, random photos don't help. Don't make an expectation that your audience knows what you're taking a photo of. So pretend that everyone is just being introduced to you at that moment, and make sure that you explain everything. Oversimplify, and the best thing you can do when you're oversimplifying is actually make sure that everything you're posting and tagging your images with descriptions, and summaries of what the photo is and what it means is in line with the keywords that you're looking to rank for with your SEO campaign. So do a little bit of next level stuff by combining two great opportunities with how you're using your SEO and how you're using this content, and where you're posting them. Number 3, I'm willing to spend money on video, but I don't have ideas. I'm glad you're willing to invest in video. The ideas are sometimes the easier part once you start talking to the video crew that you're working with. They may have some ideas and examples of what would be a really great thing to do. But to keep it very simple, there's a couple of things that work in any industry. Okay, so the first one we talked about in a previous video, I linked to a post about supercharging your campaign using FAQs. It's great for writing content and getting a start with your blog posts and also having better content on your web pages. But it can also be done with different people in your company who are experts that can be answering those questions on the video, kind of like this. This is a great way for you to actually have a live session or have a posted video that could be on Facebook or YouTube or part of your Instagram stories where maybe once a week you answer a couple of questions. That's the format that we've got here. It's working really well because I've actually received some positive feedback on the videos being a little bit more casual than the lectures, and also that it was value added. And even for people that hadn't asked a question, there were things they were curious about and helped with extra information. So keep that in mind too. That a simple Q&A can always take care of that and help you get more content. The second one that we were talking about was getting testimonials, asking your customers to say something about why they fits were with working with you, if they would choose you again or recommend you to a friend. Have 4 or 5 standard questions that you could ask and do it in context. So while you are doing that video testimonial with that person, have some context where your b-roll is them using your product. So if they just finished a home renovation with you, they could be standing in their new kitchen. If you are selling a product, they could be using the product and demonstrating how they use it or how they interact with it. And think about different ways that you're able to show that this person is very happy with your product and that's why they're happy to recommend you. And make sure you ask them as well, hey, can I use this as a testimonial? Can I use this as part of my marketing? Because those two things are great because you want them to be 100% bought into what you do. And the last kind of example that just kind of came up to mind, when you're looking at different people, and regardless of what you do for your work, to go in conjunction with those testimonials is actually showing before and after. We think very physically transformative when we think about before and after videos, which is probably why they're so powerful. We think about the weight loss videos of before and after. It's always a very compelling image to see before and after for their body transforming. If we think about painting a house, that can be a big transformation. I mentioned renovations earlier, or your car being detailed. Those things are huge for being able to show before and after, and I would recommend doing them if those are your industries. But you can also paint the before and after picture for anything. We all know that one of the best marketing and sales techniques is to be able to solve someone's problem. If you can explain before what the problem was and then show how your product solved that problem, and this person using your product again and again and recommending it to people, that before and after can actually be really impactful. I know one of the ones right now that is being shown, at least to me, a lot on YouTube is a project management tool. And they talk about a lot of the relatable points, which is, how much of a pain it is and shift deadlines when items are missed or items are changed. And it's like, yep, I agree. I relate. And so that's where that before can be a really strong hook. And then afterwards saying this problem was solved because of using this technology or using this software, or using our services. It's like, oh, that would be great. Right. So the hook then has a call to action that is there, which talks about why it would be beneficial to you. So those before and after videos can be really powerful. Um, let's see. And the last idea that I just wrote down briefly about ideas are tutorials. Being able to film how to use your product. We worked on a project where we did this with Caesarstone to show off in our suite how to take care of their product. So it was a customized video with a vendor about how to take care of their product that was in the homes that we were building. So it was really powerful to be able to say, yeah, I get it. I can take care of this. And the tutorial video that I'm following, the product in the video is the same that is in my kitchen and bathroom. And so that was a very simple way to just have one of their managers that was available to come and talk about it. And we had everything set up, obviously, because it was already there and already built. But that testimonial was, or sorry, that tutorial was a great way for them to build their brand and reinforce that their brand was a great addition to the kitchen, or a very awesome part of that person's kitchen and bathroom. Good. Next, number 4. My photos look good on Facebook, but bad on Instagram. Why? I don't know unless I see the photos, but there's a couple of reasons it might. One is size. So there is a different optimal size for every image and every video and every different thing that you post on every social media platform. The aspect ratio, which is how far across something is by how tall something is different. So Facebook and Twitter are relatively the same, that it's a standard horizontal layout. Instagram is a square, much more of a square, and Pinterest is a long vertical image. Now, these aren't the only sizes of image that each of these social media platforms will accept. However, the optimal one is what usually performs best and looks best. So if you're taking a photo with your phone and you're taking it horizontally, then that will end up being translating to a really great photo for Facebook and for Twitter. If you're taking it vertically, that's usually a little bit better for Instagram, because when you go through the settings to crop, you're cropping out the top and the bottom instead of the sides. And unless you've left, this much, let's see in the image here, this much space here for your Instagram photos that are just padding that can be cut out, then when you have your photo in the feed, it's actually going to automatically cut that part until you actually open the photo. So if you notice that on Instagram, what you see in the feed is by default forced to be square. And then when you open it up, it can expand to be a little bit wider or a little bit taller than what you had before. But it's something that I think, be aware of, that you do need to optimize your photos to edit them into Instagram. I would also say use consistent filters if you can use the filters or the effects that are there. But that's most likely what it is. It's the sizing, as well as the editing. That's probably what's changing it there. Are my videos for YouTube? Yeah, that's definitely one place. I would say, when you're making your videos, keep a couple of things in mind. One, there's only a handful of video platforms out there that work really well to actually get an audience. One is YouTube. It's by far the biggest for video as well as for search. A lot of people don't know that the second largest search engine in the world, Google's number one. Number two is YouTube. So there's actually more searches on YouTube than Yahoo or Bing. It's incredible to think about how many people are actually looking for information. And a lot of it is because we search for how to do things and that are visual and done as video. So yes, they'll go on YouTube. Um, Facebook is another great place to put them. It works much better for you if you're uploading the photo, or sorry, uploading the video to Facebook instead of just sharing the YouTube link. They would prefer to have the videos that are on their platform, native to their platform, instead of just a link that goes out to YouTube. And the third is Vimeo. There's not as much of a big following that's on Vimeo, from a consumer like scrolling perspective. It's much more of a creative environment, which is really great, especially if that's your audience. But the others are for promotional, and so we'll kind of merge this with question number 6: Is this the same as a TV commercial? Yes, in a traditional sense. What you're trying to create with all these videos is a great information about your talent, your skill, your expertise, your differentiation in the marketplace. And what you want to take with that is being able to splice it into different sizes. So on TV, what we've known for years is typically the top performing ads are 15 or 30 seconds long. And whether that's the best performing or the only thing that the ad networks wanted to run, the TV networks wanted to run, is something that we'll always be in a debate with. But that standard length is not something that actually works on social and works on digital. What works is anything under 15 seconds. Within our campaigns, typically we see the magic number is 6 to 7 seconds, and that's where you'll be editing down your videos to be used for promotion. These videos that we use for promotion that are 6 to 7 seconds long, we typically make them about 10 to 15 seconds, and we see that their click through or drop off by 7 seconds. Okay, so what works really well is on the landing page. We talked about landing pages in the website section, where people land and you want them to be having a consistent message. One of the best click through rates that we've actually seen is click to watch the full video. So make the full video 30, 60, or 90 seconds long. If it's a how to, it might even be something that is 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. But keep in mind, when you're paying for it, you're paying for how long things are going to be for the output, as well as how much editing is required for you to have the video turn out really polished. So you might want to focus just on doing a 1.5 to 2 minute video, and your call to action could even be as simple as click to watch the full video, and you've got that little clip. So here's a good example. Let's say your how-to process, or your tutorial process that you have is 5 steps. 5 steps in a 90-second video could easily be cut into a quick little clip that has, one of those points as a summary, and then saying, learn more benefits, and be able to understand that somebody just needs to be hooked before they see the whole video. Be very quick with these commercials to jump right into the content. Nothing in the beginning that starts to, warm you up or introduce your brand. Get into it right away. When you have someone who's scrolling all the time through their feed, what you want to have is something that your cover image is very bright and appealing and drawing somebody in to use it and watch it, and that it starts right away and they get content right away. Okay, so it's not like going to a movie where you've got the 15 minutes of trailers and previews and introducing, the screen making company and the filmmakers and the producers and all of that. Jump right into it, because that's what people are actually paying attention to. So it is the same as a TV commercial in terms of what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the audience to be drawn in and interested in your product, and getting them to act and do something about that. So I hope these help. These 6 questions were all really great. Thank you for submitting them, and we'll be back next week for more. Enjoy.